Hi, my name is Destiny and this is my Toronto experience reflection video. The first question asks me my first impressions of the area and the culture. The area seemed pretty busy. We got there at about 11:30 and we was pretty much walking around until 1:30, and there was just a lot of people, like even on the streets, even though everything was pretty much closed, there was just a lot of people walking around just like us, just to walk around, which is pretty weird because you really don't see that much. People don't really walk around unless they're going somewhere. And the place seemed kind of like a hub of some sort. I get it's downtown Toronto where all the businesses are, which is pretty cool because I grew up in Price Hill. You don't have really many corporations in Price Hill. For the culture, I felt like it was pretty friendly. The people were pretty nice. I wouldn't say too nice, but they were pretty nice. It was pretty weird when we went to CN Tower, and he asked me if I had anything on me, and I was like, yes, I have some pepper spray. He was like, you're an American, aren't you? I was like, yeah. He's like, yeah, that's illegal here. I was like, wait, what? Why? He was like, because we really don't need that. People here aren't gonna really hurt you, so you really don't need it. So he had to throw it away, which I was pretty bummed about. Like, that was my pepper spray. And then later in the week, we went to Chinatown, which was so crazy because I never thought I'd actually see one of those in person. You only ever really hear about those in movies. And going back to the American thing, that was the next question about my self-awareness of being an American. I went into it knowing that I was an American and that that's not always the best thing, so I tried to not be American because I really didn't want to stand out. I tried looking friendly. I tried not mean mugging, which is something I typically do, just to make people not want to talk to me because people really don't always talk to you for the best reason. So I just kind of rather keep my distance. And it was pretty hard to not to not be alert. Like, oh, this person's walking past me, I should probably see what they're doing, even though they wasn't even concerned about me. They was all just busy doing their own thing. The next question was my impression of the company visits and international business. It seemed to me that the companies were pretty nice and that they genuinely wanted to talk to us. It wasn't like when you go to a college fair and they're just talking to you as a prospective student or employee that they kind of have to talk to. It's like they really wanted to talk to us, and it was pretty transparent. They answered all our questions to what seemed to be honest, which really spoke to me because most of the time you wouldn't want to be quite as honest. It kind of showed me that international business is a pretty important thing, and that it's kind of a bridge between countries and cultures, and that most companies that want to make big money, it's pretty crucial to be an international business. You can't really make a lot of money just staying in your native country. The next question was my impressions of the group experience. I feel like we all had a lot of fun. We were all pretty goofy, and we all fit together well, which I think made it a lot easier. We all grew closer to an extent, but we all kind of got different things out of the trip. We all kind of experienced different things, and that I feel led to us being closer to some people than others. We're all pretty close, but some of us we're really tight, and then others we're not too tight with. I think we kind of just gravitated towards the people who kind of wanted to get the same thing as us from the experience. But I feel like that really helped us. We made our own inside jokes, which I think we're never going to be able to live down ever in our lives. And I think we all couldn't have, for the most part, went with a better group. I mean, except Jerry, because he said we're a little too crazy for him. But that's okay, because the rest of us had fun. I know personally I did a lot of complaining, especially about the walking. But looking back at it, it was a lot of fun, and I probably wouldn't change anything except for maybe buying a better pair of shoes. I mean, my boots were comfortable at first, but yeah, 9 miles is a lot of walking for some boots. And then the last and final question was to create an action plan for how I would continue to increase my cultural intelligence while at UC. My first thing is to definitely look into study abroad for maybe next year or the year after that. I just want to make sure I'm fully settled into college before I go trying to leave the country. I can't be successful outside the country if I can't be successful here, which is really important to me. Another thing is I can always join organizations that foster, I guess, cultural growth, where we might not all come from the same background, which is always going to lead to some sort of growth. I also know 3 international students that I can always just try and get a little closer to. I can do my own research. I mean, there's plenty of resources on campus. I should never really complain about not being able to do my research. And maybe I could even try and learn a language, or maybe 2 if the first one's successful. I feel like that would be the start to my plan, and I'd probably make the rest of it up as I go.